Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of our topic. So many videos on conspiracy this, conspiracy that, and numerous videos about crooked politicians, high-ranking officials, etc., etc.
People have been beaten down so long, and they feel so betrayed by government.
Today we're going to take a look at...
So I deal with foreign countries, and despite what you may read, I have unbelievable relationships with all the foreign leaders.
So, here's a list of facts. We're going to lay them out, and we'll let you be the judge. Let's dig in.
That Hillary, as I say, crooked Hillary, she's as crooked as they come. Hillary Clinton is a bigot.
There has never been so many lies, so much deception. Bill Clinton was abusive to women. Hillary Clinton attacked those same women and attacked them viciously. Hillary Clinton, I think, is a terrific woman. I mean, I'm a little biased because I've known her for years. I live in New York, she lives in New York, and I've known her and her husband for years, and I really like them both a lot. And I think she really works hard, and I think she's given an agenda. It's not all of her, but I think she really works hard, and I think she does a good job, and I like her. I think, assuming she's healthy, which I hope she will be, I think she probably runs after the next 4 years, I would imagine. And I think she's given an agenda.
Trump owed money all over town to 72 banks in all. Pomerantz represented them as a group. How close was he to going personally bankrupt?
Very.
There's a reason why the banks decided to keep Trump whole.
We made the decision that he would be worth more alive to us than dead. That he would be worth more alive to us than dead. That he would be worth more alive to us than dead.
So, why would he say that? These are what's considered Zionist Jews.
President Trump inserts a prayer in the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem today. He is the first sitting U.S. president to visit the holiest site in the Jewish faith.
I would say go watch my Invisible Enemy video, but it's been blocked, and I'll work on that, but here's a quick recap.
Are modern Jews descendants of the tribe of Judah, one of the sons of Jacob? Are European Jews really Gentiles whose ancestors converted to Judaism? The facts are clear now that most of those who call themselves Jews are not descendants of Jacob, whose name was later changed to Israel, and therefore have no claim to the land of Palestine.
See, this is interesting because when you look at the history of Zionism, you have a group of lovers of Zion called the Haveve Zion, a variety of organizations which sprung up after the anti-Jewish pogroms in the Russian Empire. Those organizations were considered the sparks of modern Zionism. A majority of them began in the Eastern European countries.
European Jews really Gentiles?
With their main goal being to immigrate the new Jewish settlements to Palestine.
So how many people in Europe would be eligible under the law of return to move here?
3 million, 4 million maybe altogether. It could change the geopolitics.
What do you mean that it could change the geopolitics?
It's the demography is the key of everything, as you know. Between the Jordan and the Mediterranean, this is the borders, 10 million people, about 500,000 Jews and 500,000 Arabs. And if we want to remain a democratic state, we have to have a majority of Jews in this place.
So you think that immigrants could turn the balance?
Absolutely, sure. Already we have the birth rate among Arabs is decreasing and the birth rate among Jews is increasing, so it's already a change. The train of history is on its way.
And they did just that. 20 new Jewish settlements now in Palestine between the years 1870 and 1897. But see, it didn't stop there. They wanted Palestine to themselves, not just to be a citizen or to get rights there. There's a letter by Benjamin Friedman that exposes the exact move, which I'll play a clip of here in a moment. But first note this. In early centuries, the Khazars of Eastern Europe were known as the Serpent People. And with that, remember first coming out of Egypt, Amalek, being grandson of Esau in the Old Testament, was first to attack Israel in Exodus. And in Exodus, the Lord told Moses to write for a memorial in the book that he would utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. He also said there would be war with Amalek from generation to generation. Now, this letter by Benjamin exposes the takeover of Palestine.
World War I broke out in the summer of 1914. Now that war was waged on one side by Great Britain, France, and Russia, and on the other side by Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Turkey. What happened? Within 2 years, Germany had won that war. The Zionists in London went to the British War Cabinet and they said, look here, you can yet win this war. You don't have to give up. You don't have to accept a negotiated peace offered to you now by Germany. You can win this war if the United States will come in as your ally. The United States was not in the war at that time. We were fresh, we were young, we were rich, we were powerful. And they told England, we will guarantee to bring the United States into the war as your ally, to fight with you on your side, if you will promise us Palestine after you win the war.
Now, why would they want Palestine? Could it be because
The golden rule is really those who have the gold rule.
So the land of Havilah biblically is where the gold is? Could they be after the gold?
Let's play some video, if we could please, of a pretty stunning moment. Jim was talking about the publicity of this and how much we're seeing, but do you see that that chain around, the gold necklace around the President Trump's neck there? Well, Saudi King Salman presented that to the president. It's a gold medal. The collar of Abdulaziz Al Saud is what it's called, and it's the nation's highest honor. I want to ask you, Anute, what do you make of, what is the symbolism there? What is the intention as he gives him that honor? Because already what we are seeing, the grandeur of this welcome, is so different from what we've seen with past presidents.
See, Amalek officially got Palestine after the Balfour Declaration was established, which was a public statement issued by the British government during World War I. It was created November 2nd, 1917, and basically just put the agreement in writing to seal the deal. Okay, now there's a key player here which may be able to answer a few questions. Woodrow Wilson. See, he didn't actually sign this document, but when he was first asked his opinion on the matter from the British government, he said no. Or, quote, the time was not right, end quote. But a month after this, he changes his mind. Why?
The Jews were promised a national home in Palestine by the Earl of Balfour, a policy endorsed by Woodrow Wilson and by the League of Nations, which made Palestine a British mandate.
What or who changed his mind? Not sure, but we do have an idea here. About 4 years prior to this, 1913, December 23rd, Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Act, which created and established the Federal Reserve System in the U.S., locking America into debt. And he knew it. Some say he was tricked into signing, and it was done in a very clandestine manner during the holidays while most opposing voters wouldn't be around to vote against the matter. He later said before he died, he was a most unhappy man, being that he had ruined his country, giving power to a system of credit.
We are Jews, taxed to death, forbidden to learn a trade, forbidden to own land. They keep us in chains. They send men here to rob us. So work and strive for money. Money is power. Money is the only weapon that the Jew has to defend himself with.
This is the House of Rothschild, the 1934 film on the Rothschild family. This film very strangely sticks pretty close to facts in history, but most of all, this film shows how the Jewish felt about money. And not only money, but its importance in how to manage the money with the startup of their banking system, which runs the world now.
Come closer. Much money is lost through sending gold by coach from one country to another. In times of war, it is seized by the enemy. In times of peace, by thieves. You are 5 brothers. I want you each to start a banking business in a different country. One to go and open a house in Paris, one in Vienna, one in London. Choose the most important centers, so that when money is to be sent from here to London, let us say, you won't have to risk life and gold. Hampshire, here in Frankfurt, will just send a letter to Nathan in London saying, pay so-and-so. And that will be offset by loans from London to Frankfurt. Understand? Yes. In your day, there will be many wars in Europe. And nations that have money to transport will come to the Rothschilds because it will be safe.
Papa, you mustn't talk anymore. The doctor...
I'm giving advice to our sons, Mama, that the doctor cannot give. Remember, unity is strength. All your lives you must stand by one another. No one brother must be allowed to fail while another brother succeeds. Your 5 banking houses may cover Europe, but you will be one firm, one family, the Rothschilds.
And they did that too, by first tricking goldsmiths and then countries out of real value, which was gold and silver, for paper currency and credit established by their banks set up across the globe. I want to read this notice written to the public by a Paul James, which was published by a Thorpe D. Daniel Tater. On the night of December 23, 1913, the United States Congress passed the Federal Reserve Act and thereby committed the greatest act of treason in history. It surrendered this nation's sovereignty and sold the American people into slavery to a cabal of arch-charlatan international bankers who proceeded to plunder, bankrupt, and conquer this nation with a money swindle. The money the banks issue is merely bookkeeping entries. It costs them nothing and is not backed by their wealth, efforts, property, or risk. It is not redeemable except in more debt paper. The Federal Reserve Act forced us to pay compound interest on thin air. We now use worthless notes backed by our own credit that we cannot own and are made subject to compelled performance for the privilege. Go check out my bank cartel video for more details if you haven't already done so. So they went after Palestine, where there's gold. They tricked countries into bringing in their banking systems where they handed out monopoly money or paper money for their actual gold and silver.
The golden rule is really those who have the gold rule.
So how does yours truly help them out by sitting in the seat of Commander-in-Chief of America?
Israel is a very, very important ally of the United States, and we are going to protect them 100%.
In fact, I would say that ISIS stands for Israeli Secret Intelligence Services. It's a perfect acronym for who is benefiting most from ISIS, because when you look at ISIS, its real intention is to basically rip apart the Middle East so that Israel, which is all part of the greater Israel project, so that Israel can expand.
We will move the American embassy to the eternal capital of the Jewish people, Jerusalem.
The book questioning the war on terror notes chaos may be good for Israel's expansion, but the US just gains new enemies.
Imposing imperial control. These people really do want to create greater Israel from the Nile to the Euphrates. Israel, working with its Saudi partners, underwrote this coup d'etat against the first democracy ever in the 5,000-year history of Egypt.
Together, we will stand up to the enemies like Iran, bent on destroying Israel and her people. Together, we will make America and Israel safe again.
Why do you think the removal of Saddam hasn't improved the lives of Iraqis? Or has it? I don't know.
Well, I think if you really want to know the truth about the invasion of Iraq, there's clearly some incentives for the invasion. Oil, securing oil was one of them. Establishing permanent military bases in the region was another one. But a far less talked about reality is Israeli plans, which made clear that the balkanization of surrounding countries, in particular Iraq, if we go to Oded Yanan's plan for Israel in the 1980s, it lays out very clearly a strategy of destabilizing all of the surrounding areas of Israel. This includes Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, Iraq, and even Egypt and Saudi Arabia. And this long-term goal is part of the Greater Israel Project. So in terms of the sectarian divide you see happening in Iraq today, it's actually all part of a very well-designed plan to try and secure the goal, this fantasy goal of the Greater Israel Project.
I love the people in this room. I love Israel. I love Israel. I've been with Israel so long.
Topic. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, baby.